So, as always, my first target is Dr. Raj. So, Raj, nice to have you. And I know you've been telling that you wanted to have some system like this. I know this has been on your mind for 8 years, not one or two. So, what was your core pain point and trigger to build a system? Let it be technology or AI. What was the trigger?
See, being a bariatric surgeon and practicing weight loss and obesity, we all understood that obesity is a multifactorial disease. It's not like a hernia where patient comes with a swelling, you examine, you diagnose, and then operate and move on. So this is a multifactorial disease where it was thought to be only about diet, exercise, and it became endocrine, hormonal, environmental, psychological, social, plenty of parts of that. Second problem is when you want to analyze everything when you're treating the patient, deciding what kind of a diet, what kind of activities, what kind of a lifestyle they need to change. Third part is if you're adding medicine, what is the drug dosage, and depending upon the drug dosage, how the comorbidities come down, like sugar, BP, cholesterol, how they come down. And if you do a surgery, then you take seriously the nutrition as well. So there are close to around 30-40 parameters that needs to be adjusted. That's a huge pain point. But the worst of all pain point is patient follow-up. Patients get fed up or they give up halfway through. We don't know whether they're following it up properly or not, and suddenly after 2 years they come back with weight regain or inadequate weight loss. So there are plenty of variables to look into. That is a huge pain point. In my opinion, a human interference can never achieve that pain point with regards to obesity management, and that is, in my opinion, the biggest downfall of weight loss management until now.
We were looking at some of these tools and we wanted to look at some of the free tools as well. But what we realized is that the tool is free only to a limited extent. Any good tool is only free to a limited extent. For example, one of the earlier tools that I used, like class.health, it was very good because it used to give you feedback, but then once you queried maybe one or two patients,
Can you pronounce it? Glass.health, is it?
Glass.health, yeah. So one or two patients, then the limit will expire. So then it'll say you have to go back another day and then again try two patients. Maybe sufficient when you're starting out, because you may only want to ask maybe one or two patients that are a little bit more complicated to get that support that you need. But overall, you need to go for a paid tool in long-term practice if you really want to incorporate your AI in your practice. And then you can always go to Google Console, where Gemini 3 is there. It's also pretty good. It can do multimodal, it can do text as well as X-rays. All of those things are possible. Again, there are limitations. You will certainly have to go in for a paid package if you think that is very beneficial for your practice.
Okay.
So that's basically it. And also what happens is that you need to make sure that the tool that you're selecting is adhering to certain benchmarks, because you see every day there is news about one model being better than the other, and one person releases version 1, another person releases version 2, and they say this is better than the previous one. So there are certain places where you can go on the web and check the benchmarks of which tool is currently performing well for a particular use case. So there is Health Bench. You can go to Health Bench, and there's a list of models. It will tell you how the performance of the model is. So that will give you a clear indicator of what model to use for you to test for the kind of practice that you are in. And also there's ClinBench. So these two sites.
Can you pronounce it again?
Yeah. So Health Bench is very clear. Health Bench, you can look it up on Google. Next is ClinBench. ClinBench. So if you look at these two, they give you, depending on your practice, depending on the use case that you want, it will tell you which is the best performing model in this point in time that your practice is. And you can pick that. And you can pick that model. And picking up the model also, you have to go to the particular services that provide it. For example, Azure provides it. Google provides it, and there are certain private parties that provide it as well. So there's a little bit of research that's involved, but it's very important for you to be wary about benchmarking the tool that you're using for your practice.
Okay. Thank you so much. So Dr. Raj, for you, scaling beyond the physical clinic, how did this kind of tools help you reach global patients across India? And can you elaborate a little bit of an AI-based check-in for the patients? What are initial assessments that you're using? and how you're using AI to improvise that.
Okay, so if we talk about one disease which can be a most likely a teleconsult management kind of a disease, we can say obesity stands first
Wonderful.
because it is initially a lifestyle disease
Okay.
which ends up in a comorbidities and become a metabolic disease later. But most of this can be a teleconsult and a blood report and some kind of a health based system where body composition is measured wherever you are, blood test is done wherever you are, and teleconsult will give you a lifestyle management. So the questions can be formed such a way that you can completely have 100% teleconsult to get most of the details about obesity and its and the patient's previous history to have to work on how to manage the patient. Having said that, with a global burden of close to a billion patients, billion people who are obese, and
Yes.
India having 180 million who are obese, and when you talk about overweight, it becomes 250, 260 million in India. How will you address them with a physical consult? So we should have more like a what we'll say as a screening ultrasound when we have some issues. Same way, obesity management through a teleconsult has to be more of a screening where you start some kind of a treatment to start,
Okay.
and then if they have severe comorbidities, when they have uncontrolled diseases, complications, then you have them physically to manage. So 80 to 90% of obese patients can be managed with teleconsultation. Having
Okay.
said that, there should be a clear mandate on getting the history, body composition, their lifestyle completely, and the medications, the comorbidities and the medications they are taking, and their physical and psychological analysis. Everything has to be done, maybe in parts done as a teleconsult. So the treatment by means of continuity of care can be done also teleconsulting by a doctor, a nutritionist, a psychologist, which all are happening as a teleconsult already in parts. But everything has to be under one
One
umbrella,
umbrella.
multidisciplinary treatment as one umbrella. And this way, in my practice, I was able to sustain more than 85% of my patients, retain them, and almost 30% of success rate or maybe improvement in the outcome of weight and comorbidity management are happening because purely of teleconsult, because there is a continuity of care that can be happening through this.
I guess even the follow-ups and reviews, even
Exactly.
post-bariatric surgery reviews, patients don't have
Exactly.
to come in person at all.
So this is a very niche field. We have people from every walk of life and from globally as well. So that way we tend to have a very near normal real life, tracking of their health and their lifestyle along with their medications. So we will be able to succeed in giving them the required weight loss and
Weight loss.
comorbidities that is required even in a physical standard. So that way, I don't think there's much of a difference between the physical and the online when it comes to obesity management.
And now, Raj, this is the question to you. Your major or any clinician's major pain point is like drop off, especially chronic diseases. Patients drop off. There's no follow up. They lose 2 kgs. Where the target is 10, they don't turn up. So, how do you think AI systems can address this? What is your experience
Yeah.
in your clinic?
So I will tell you I told the pain points, but what we did and how we have success, I told you. So in Health Pilot AI, what we did is when it comes to patient data, input, we made it much simpler, not typing. It is only tick or choose kind of a mechanism. So where we type in, get the information, everything at the back end, and we will create what are the parameters what we need to be assessing in a review or a follow-up. For example, the patient weight, the patient BMI, the patient muscle mass, the patient percentage of body fat, BMR, as well as if the patient diabetic, their HbA1c, hypertensive, their BP. So we create parameters and then make sure that these are all in the trajectory in the trend creation system. And along with it, at the back end, we will give them a specific guidelines on diet, activities, and lifestyle changes. So whenever patient is asked for a follow-up, for example, post bariatric, I will ask them to come after 1 week, 1 month, and every 3 months. So what are the parameters we look into 1 week? What are the parameters we look into 1 month? Those parameters are analyzed on a daily basis, real-time basis, provided patient inputs the data. And I'm telling you, initial phase of the treatment, every patient will be very dedicated towards weight loss and they'll be inputting it. We are making it an addiction to those kind of a patients by giving them some gyans, some results which they can see in their own eyes and how beneficial it is going to be. So AI will predict it. AI will, as per prediction, as per whatever you follow, it will give you an analysis saying that you have succeeded in the percentage of weight loss for this month based on these parameters. And if you are not following that, AI will tell you also you are 1%, 2% less because of these issues. Because we are given all the parameters at the back end, it calculates and gives you, and then it gives you some kind of a benefit of some award, kind of a some kind of a
Gamifying the
motivational
results
stuff kind of a thing. And if the patient is not following it properly, or maybe the treatment is not good enough, for example, if the patient's diabetes is not going down, his BP is not going down, in a real time, we will also come to know about it, and we will call the patients and talk to them. Hey, your BP is not going down, your sugar is not going down, maybe your eating capacity is not good, or eating is not good, or your medication is little less. So these kind of a thing on a real time can happen. This gives patients trust and confidence, a big boost. And when the success happens, the patients are going to follow up with you. And that is how we strongly hold on to our patients to retain. And that is how we say that with Health Pilot, we have a 85 to 86% of retention for patients beyond 1 year, which is less than 50% in medical history. So this is how it is. And obesity being a lifestyle disease, every day somebody appreciates, you get information from the patient. And then all these things before used to get lost in the WhatsApp. Now it is registered in the platform and comes in the app to you from the patient saying that, hey doc, today I got a compliment thanks to you. Today I could fit into the flights in a single seat. I was happy. Now I could go to Thailand, which is my dream. I could bungee jump, scuba dive. This kind of information keep coming on a daily basis, which motivates us as well to be better to the patient. So this ecosystem of making the entire doctor-patient relationship as a family and making the patients follow up much more stronger can never beat AI. If you don't use it, you are losing it on it.
100%. So that was wonderful. So I think just to add to context of what Dr. Raj was saying, in Health Pilot also we have a very dedicated patient app. So that is what he was telling. It is continuously the patient can book appointments for teleconsult from their app to your clinic. They can log in their meals, they can log in their activities, and that is where the care continuum goes beyond the clinical voice. So you take a prescription, you move out, and you're still connected with Dr. Raj through the app. And this is a dedicated app, and we can also personalize the app for their own clinics. That's one thing. Another thing that was very, very interesting during our format of developing this Health Pilot was the calorie manager. So I think today, Maria is a nutritionist there. I think she can easily input a bit of data, and the AI goes, catches the comorbidities, the target weight loss it's needed, and I think in less than a minute or so, it gives a very detailed calorie meal plan. Also the macros, micros. Can you say how different it is from anything else available in the market today?
Yeah. So one biggest USP I say about Health Pilot, which is thanks to Dr. Jagdish and Dr. Praveena and Mr. Vikrant. The beauty is a one of a kind or first of its kind solution for micronutrients. Second, manage the calorie based on not just diet alone and not just activity alone, but also on lifestyle, their management, their regular movement, their alcohol, their smoking, their sleep, their stress. So we come with a beautiful score for all these things to really help patients be informed and given ideas straight away from AI. One big example is, if I say I want the patient to be on 1200 calorie per day diet, and I wanted 400 calories of activities done to improve their muscle mass, automatically it will choose a high protein based diet. And you go to a diet site and say, I want a South Indian non-veg meal today. It will divide that 1200 calories over 3 meals, and it will give exercises required for muscle gain, and as well as the amount of protein that needs to be taken, amount of micronutrients as well, not just macro of protein, carbs, and fat as well. Micro, how many zinc, how much B12, how much magnesium you need, how much vitamin C you need, how much B12 you need. All those things also will be prescribed by AI.
Okay.
For example, if you are not eating enough of what the kind of a food it recommends for the micronutrients, over a period of time, over a week, it will tell you your B12 intake through food is not good enough. You might end up being deficient. So why don't you take B12 supplement if you really don't want to change? If you really want to change, go back to this kind of a diet. So it will give you prescription. Same way it will for protein as well. Same way for everything, so that we can have an insufficiency managed before it becomes a deficiency.
So it flags the
Exactly.
deficiency.
Same way with activities. You are weak with activities, your muscle gain is not good. It will tell you to change the activities to suit the muscle gain what you're looking into. And it can recommend you, a good sleep,
Required
stress
food.
activities as well, and understand everything. This is not done anywhere else, and this will be one of its kind, which I will believe that it's going to change the entire scenario of lifestyle of a single patient in an amazing real-time way. And at the end of the day, we also are monitoring that. So if a patient overdoes it, we can tell them. If the patient underdoes it, we can always guide them.
I think that was a spectacular explanation by Raj, and I think this is also a value add for nutritionists, especially the calorie manager. I've seen feedback from the nutritionists at Barrows itself. See how they can actually build their brand, how they can do the consultations online without having a physical clinic at all, and continue to scale their nutritionist practice, and also do this meal generation through AI, follow-ups through AI, and retain patients through the mobile app that Health Pilot is giving. I think that's a wonderful way of continuously tracking your patients as well. So I'm sure Raj would agree with that as well.
Definitely.
So quickly to break from Raj and to Jagdish. So Jagdish, the question to you is, see, like, what should a doctor know before implementing AI solutions? Like, what is GDPR compliance? What is DPDP Act in India? What should a doctor know about it before he implements?
Yeah, sure. So one thing is GDPR is something that is universal, not just for healthcare, for any software for that matter. It talks about data safety, and GDPR and DPDP Act, which India is pushing now, they are all based on some basic principles. The first is you only collect data what you need, not more than that, and you collect it for a particular purpose, right? And then you have to be transparent with the patients of what data you're collecting. They need to see what data is there, their data on the system. They need to be able to see it. It has to be transparent. It has to be kept in a very secure place. So the access permissions have to be very deliberate, and who has access to the data. Okay, and also what happens is that patient needs to have the right to revoke access to the data when they want to. So later, if the DPDP rules click in, you need to show the audit trail where your data, when the patient has requested a data deletion, that it is not there in the system completely, no matter whatever data. So ethical AI means patient safety first. That is very, very important. And you need to take care of the bias awareness and make sure there is clear accountability. So that's to tell you some in a simple nutshell of what these rules are.
Ensure that your technical partner is GDPR compliant and the data is stored and given with the consent of all the stakeholders. See, AI platform like this, one is it helps you scale. As doctors, we sometimes feel stuck in a clinic with a particular chair or with a particular amount of time. It brings down the doctor's burnout, reducing about 40% of the administrative time, which automatically helps you to scale. The most important thing Dr. Raj is telling is the retention, the continuum of care beyond the clinical walls, where you engage with your patient, definitely improves your clinical outcomes. It definitely increases the connection with the patient, helping you see more patients and understanding them far better. So I think, like he said, like 5 years or even 2 years from now, these kind of solutions will become something highly important and mandatory in the clinic. And we will take the questions after some time. In the meantime, I'd like to just share what we have done for Barrows. I'll just give me 2 minutes. I'll quickly go through this thing. So I would rather call this the Barrows success story. So why I'm saying this is for us been a journey. Like we know Barrows is one of the finest clinics in India doing obesity care for a large number of time and patients. So the use case here, how we used clinical AI to bring down their drop rates to increase their scale. See, like starting from Dr. Raj was talking about the web check-in. So if you see here, this is the place where the patient can come, and it's an AI-based web check-in. Put in their details and AI analyzes everything, and Dr. Raj on the other end can take an easy teleconsult with a very brief history of what the patient has got, the disease or the BMI. So you don't have to wait, or you don't have to expect the patient to come into your physical clinics. This is a very seamless process. Patient pays, consults, get information. Later you can book your in-person appointments as well. And this is the dashboard at Dr. Raj's clinic, how it looks and how Health Pilot AI powers it. In one place, you see everything from your consult to the total number of patients to the, you can add a number of departments if you so wish to. And this is patient 360, what he was talking about. You can see your BMI trends, your body weight trends, the patient overview, complete health metrics with trend visualization is possible in the patient 360 feature. And prescriptions, so you can prescribe starting from the health profile to investigations to the calorie manager. All of this stays in one place. So anything that you want to ask or need to know about the patient, you can look into this, and your AI assistants can even, you can query and take information from the assistant. You can prescribe to the patient, and very easily the patients can receive those prescriptions on their own mobile app and even place orders for the medication. So that's a huge advantage. And this is compliance, adherence. Is your patient sticking to the weight loss target? So is he doing well in terms of his journey of weight loss? If not, we have a score, and AI triggers messages to the patient asking him to better improve his follow-ups or asking him to come back to the clinic. This again is an important point for clinical success, I would say. And this is very here, like he was saying, is a remarkable feature, a calorie manager which can be generated by AI in a matter of seconds, extremely useful for physicians, nutritionists, or anybody who is prescribing nutrition plans to the patients. In a matter of seconds, AI analyzes the patient's body composition, his comorbidities, takes into consideration everything, and generates this plan or the meal plan for the patient. This is again going into the patient's app and allows the patients to stay connected. So these are small AI features, like, you feed in a lot of documents, AI will analyze and tell you, in short, this is the history and this is what you need to look into, which I think is remarkable. And the AI voices assistants. So you can query your doubts, like what was the last HbA1c for Praveena, and AI gives you. So you don't have to go through the entire records or ask your assistant for it or ask even the patient for it. Sometimes patient forgets. And ambient AI is nothing but it's a voice assistant. Somebody's asked how it works. If there's a small mic anywhere in your system, you'll have mic, and as you talk, this transcribes the patient's as well as the doctor's voice into text, and the entire text will be summarized here. Not only that, the beauty of what we have built is this text also goes and sits on the clinical parameters. So suppose the patient says that he's got diabetes, then it goes into his history. So if he says that his HbA1c has been this much, then it goes into his lab investigation. So it kind of transcribes and also pushes it into the right buckets. That's the advantages of ambient AI. And now we have doctors who are very busy. They don't want to write. They just want to talk out the prescriptions or talk out the entire treatment plan. And we have a capture for that as well. And this is a very exclusive mobile app built where your clinic gives this to the patient, and patient stays connected with you through this app, be it logging in his meals or activities. The doctor sets the goals. It even gives you a macro, the amount of protein, the carbs that you need to take, the fats that you're taking. So it gives you the breakdown and helps you stay, well in track on your weight loss journey. That's about the meal logging. Reminders, extremely useful features. I don't think any front desk staff or any staff is today going to have the burden of following up with the patients, and it shouldn't be there also given the technology forefront we have today. So AI reminds patients to come back to the clinic, fixes their appointments, follows them up even after they moved out of the clinic. We have the digital prescriptions where you can place your order for Monjaro or GLP-1s on your app as a patient, and we have the entire delivery system in place. We can deliver it to the patient. So that's extremely convenient for doctor as well as the patient to adhere to the entire GLP-1 drugs as well. So if you can just put this in a nutshell, I would say first scale patient engagement, starting from teleconsultations to engaging with your patients online. Time efficiency, saving almost 40% of your administrative time, be it generating your calories, meal plans, or tracking with the patients. And then while doing all of this with adherence scores and seamless mechanisms, you have very good care continuum. So your care continues even when the patient moves out of your clinic. So you become a very differentiated clinic. So you mark yourself as a tech empowered doctor, which I think is very important in this age and era. So I hope this complete thing has definitely made absolute sense to all the doctors who've been with us today on a Sunday morning. And we, as a team of doctors, completely believe that today empowering doctors with AI is very, very important for us to scale, retain, or thrive, because this technology should become any doctor's competitive edge. And finally, we are open to doing an audit of your clinic, understanding how these AI frameworks can sit in your clinic and help you achieve what clinic like Barrows or what Dr. Raj has achieved in his own clinic. Extremely futuristic AI tools we've got, and we can fine tune it for what fits your clinic. Please do take a shot of this, and you can reach me at this number. You can say a hi, and I'll get back to you ASAP, or my team will get back to you in setting up the entire process for you. And we'd love to hear a little more about you, and probably we should go on and take questions right now.